Solomon had 14,000 employees. He fired 5 types on sight. 3,000 years ago, the wealthiest king in recorded history wrote something most people skip right past. Not about earning, not about investing, about the people standing next to you while you do both. His wealth, adjusted for inflation, roughly $2 trillion according to some historical estimates, did not come from working harder than everyone else. It came from knowing exactly who to keep close and who to cut loose. Ryan, a 38-year-old project manager in Charlotte, thought he knew this lesson. He earned $94,000 a year, drove a reasonable car, had a 401k match. He never missed. But by 40, he had lost $47,000, not to bad investments, not to a market crash. To 5 relationships he should have ended years earlier. Today, you will learn exactly which 5 types of people Solomon identified as wealth destroyers, and how to spot them before they spot your wallet. One of these 5, you probably had lunch with them this week. Proverbs 13:20. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Solomon did not write that as poetry. He wrote it as accounting. The Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances found that your spending habits mirror the 5 people you spend the most time with, a finding that echoes what a king understood 3 millennia ago. This is not self-help. This is a financial audit of your inner circle. Person number 1, the hot-tempered. Proverbs 22:24 through 25. Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. Do not associate with one easily angered, or you may learn their ways and get yourself ensnared. Solomon placed this warning directly before his advice about debt, verses 26 and 27. That is not accidental. Anger and financial ruin live in the same neighborhood. The hot-tempered person quits jobs impulsively. Rage buys a $55,000 truck after a bad day. Texts their landlord something career-ending. According to a Journal of Financial Planning study, impulsive financial decisions driven by emotional dysregulation cost Americans an average of 3 to 7% in annual portfolio returns. Ryan's old business partner Marcus was brilliant and volcanic. One angry email to a client cost their side project $12,000 in contracts overnight. How many times have you watched someone's temper write a check their wallet could not cash? Person number 2, the guarantor-seeker. Proverbs 22:26 through 27. Do not be one who shakes hands in pledge or puts up security for debts. If you lack the means to pay, your very bed will be snatched from under you. Solomon mentioned co-signing warnings at least 6 times in Proverbs, chapters 6, 11, 17, 20, 22, and 27. 6 times. When the wisest man in history repeats himself that often, it is not emphasis, it is desperation. Research from Bankrate suggests that roughly 38% of co-signers end up paying some or all of the loan themselves. Credit card charge-off rates reached 4.17% in the 3rd quarter of 2025, according to Federal Reserve data, and co-signers absorbed that hit directly. Ryan co-signed his cousin Derek's $18,000 car loan. Derek defaulted within 14 months. Ryan's credit score dropped 87 points. His mortgage refinance, the one that would have saved him $340 a month, got denied. The next type is the one most people invite to dinner every single week. And it might be the most expensive relationship you will ever maintain. If this wisdom is changing how you see your circle, consider subscribing. There is a new principle every week that could save you more than any financial advisor charges. Person number 3, the show off. Proverbs 13:7. One person pretends to be rich, yet has nothing. Another pretends to be poor, yet has great wealth. Solomon watched merchants in his own court dress, in borrowed robes. 3,000 years later, the costume just costs more. Research suggests that 46% of millennials and 42% of Generation Z feel pressured to spend money they do not have to keep up with peers. Nearly 69% of millennials and Generation Z admit to overspending because of fear of missing out, and 60% will buy something within 24 hours of feeling it. That pressure does not come from nowhere. It comes from the person next to you wearing a lifestyle they cannot afford. Ryan's neighbor drove a leased BMW and ate out 4 nights a week. Ryan started matching the lifestyle, $600 extra a month he did not have. It took 2 years to realize his neighbor was $34,000 in credit card debt. Stop. Think about your last 3 unnecessary purchases. Who were you with when you made them? Person number 4, the gossiper. Proverbs 20:19. A gossip betrays a confidence. So avoid anyone who talks too much. This is not about being socially cautious. This is about financial exposure. The person who tells you everyone else's business will tell everyone else yours. Your salary, your inheritance, your side income, your investment mistakes. In Solomon's court, leaked trade routes meant lost fortunes. In 2026, leaked financial information means targeted scams, family conflicts over money, and professional sabotage. The Federal Bureau of Investigation's Internet Crime Report shows Americans lost over $12.5 billion to financial fraud in recent years. And the most effective scams start with personal financial information someone should not have had. Ryan told a co-worker about his $22,000 bonus. Within a month, 3 people asked him for loans. Most people think gossip is harmless. Solomon treated it like a security breach. Person number 5, the sluggard, but not who you think. Proverbs 24:30-34. I went past the field of a sluggard. Thorns had come up everywhere, the stone wall was in ruins, and poverty will come on you like a thief. Here is the twist Solomon buried in his Proverbs. The sluggard is not just the person who will not work. It is the person who will not maintain. They earn money but never check their bank statements. They have a 401k but have not updated the allocation since 2019. They own property, but skip the $200 maintenance that prevents the $8,000 repair. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that preventable home maintenance neglect costs American homeowners an average of $3,500 per year in emergency repairs. Ryan's mother-in-law, Sandra, earned $78,000, but she had not reviewed her retirement portfolio in 6 years. She was still in a target date fund from 2015. Bleeding returns quietly. Neglect, Solomon knew, is the most patient form of poverty. And honestly, most of us have been the sluggard in at least one area of our financial lives. That is not shame, that is awareness. Solomon did not write Proverbs 13:20 to be quoted on Instagram. He wrote it because he watched smart people go broke, standing next to the wrong 5. And here is what makes this ancient. The 5 types have not changed in 3,000 years. The hot-tempered, the guarantor-seeker, the show-off, the gossiper, the sluggard. They wore different clothes, they carried different phones, but they drain the same way. Here is your move tonight. Open your phone, look at your last 20 text conversations. For each one, ask yourself, does this person make my financial life simpler or more complicated? You do not need to cut anyone off. You just need to see clearly. Solomon did, and it made him the wealthiest man who ever lived. If this shifted how you think about your circle, send it to one person who needs to hear it, not to fix them, to protect yourself together. Next video, Solomon's 3-account system. The exact method he used to make wealth impossible to lose. You will not want to miss that one. All content is for educational and informational purposes only. Nothing on this channel should be considered financial, investment, legal, or professional advice. Always consult qualified professionals before making financial decisions.